It's time for the Kcaa Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the Kcaa Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. Cal State University San Bernardino students will host the 8th Annual Spring Classic Golf Tournament fundraiser this Saturday, June 13th. The tournament will be held at Morongo Golf Club at Tuckwick Canyon in Beaumont with a shotgun start at 1 p.m. All proceeds will benefit the CSUSB Sport and Entertainment Marketing Scholarship Fund. Each entry includes a golf cart, lunch, dinner, and special edition gifts. There will be contests as well as a silent auction. To register, visit www.csusbspringclassic.com. And that's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
The Kcaa Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org. Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
It's time for some Dillylicious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best Dillylicious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all Dillylicious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dillylicious sub sandwich, or simply Dillylightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
Go ahead and say it. We're all ears. AM 1050 KCAA.
I get accused of being perfect all the time, and that is, no, I am not a perfect person, especially when I was younger. I was a screwball like everybody else. Right. I did drugs and alcohol when I was 22, 23 years old. And I think I went around denying it when my kids were younger. This is where the problem is. There's a very strict parenting rule I have, which is you do not tell anybody what you did during your adolescence, young adulthood, unless you want your kids to do the same. Right. Now, you don't ever lie to your kids. If they come to you, just go, we're not going to discuss that. My kids just graduated from college, so I can talk about anything right now. I did cocaine, alcohol, pot when I was for a year. And by the way, it informed me later on. No, it informed me because I didn't like it that much. And so when I saw people unable to stop, I thought, oh my God, this is something very different than what I experienced.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. Doctor, doctor, give me the news. Cocaine.
And now the man who only did just a little toot. Here's the Poorman.
Matthew's nice little bumper to end the show.
Hi, you guys, and I say guys specifically, you have to listen to the Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross. It's a show where men can be men. She's going to be our breakout radio superstar. I've said that many times on my show. That is absolutely the truth. And her show is on exactly 1 hour after my show's on today. So tune in at 4 p.m. Pacific time right here to KCAA AM 1050 and listen to Linda Gross. Thank you.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, coming soon to the IE. Have you ever wanted to bring the beauty of the ocean right into your home or office? Or already have an aquarium and just no time to clean it? Let Scuba Steve's Fish take care of that for you, specializing in new aquarium setups and maintenance. That's scubastevesfish.net, 714-600-2739. Check out the website at scubastevesfish.net. That's scubastevesfish.net. Get it? Fish.net? Serving Orange County and parts of the Inland Empire. There's nothing worse than a dirty aquarium. scubastevesfish.net. When I say Wave Tools, you think surfboards, right? But not just any surfboards. We're talking boards that just work better. Since Lance Collins polished off his first surfboard in 1969, Wave Tools has been cranking out the best boards money can buy for all of SoCal and beyond. Come check out what a real surf shop is all about. Real surfers hanging out any time of day at Wave Tools Surfboards. Customize that new board with a look that screams you. Wave Tools Surfboard in Costa Mesa. Go to wavetoolssurf.com or call 949-631-0887. The crew is ready to assist you. 949-631-0887. Are you starting a business, have a business, but need to help ensure it's operating compliant with the law? Do you have business contracts with other parties that need to be reviewed to ensure they're protected and you avoid costly litigation? At the law offices of Michael W. Brown, we specialize in providing legal advice to businesses to ensure they succeed. Our firm can help you select the correct business structure, such as a corporation, LLC, or partnership. If your business needs a contract prepared or reviewed, we can help. The law offices of Michael W. Brown has over 20 years' experience providing practical and cost-effective legal advice to small, medium, and large businesses.
I'm Michael Brown, and my firm has helped our clients get their businesses off to the right start, grow, and be successful. We represent businesses of all sizes, large, medium, small, and even the individual. Our firm has experience in a variety of industries, including medical and healthcare, manufacturing, distribution, and telecommunications, and I know I can help your business as well.
Now you can have your own legal department for your business, ready when you are at a fraction of the cost. Initial consultations are always free. Call us at 949-636-8128 or visit us at mwb-law.net. This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesOrama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesOrama.com. Leather doesn't have to be expensive. Not when it comes from Lucerne Lapidary and Leather in the Lucerne Valley. Who doesn't like leather? Get leather belts, wallets, gun belts, holsters, rifle scabbards, and original design handmade saddles. But that's not all. There's jewelry, custom design, custom cutting, shaping, engraving, polishing, repair, and more. Even classes in jewelry design. Come see it for yourself in the high desert. Lucerne Lapidary and Leather, 32776 Old Woman Spring Road in the Lucerne Valley. Call 760-885-7777. That's 760-885-7777.
What's the matter, Jim?
There's interference on the line, so it won't work.
Which line?
The Skype, to Skype in, they said that they hear my voice, but there's interference, so
You're actually
the voice
on the
doesn't
air,
come
poor
out.
man. Hello.
You mean Dr. Drew? No. Here, say hi to everybody, Mom. I know, huh? Hello? What, right now? Okay, you fixed it. What was the problem? Okay.
Oh, maybe we didn't.
What was the problem? Was Dr. Drew sabotaging us?
What's that?
Was Dr. Drew sabotaging us or what?
I have no idea what's going on.
It's fixed now, right? Completely?
You know what? It is not fixed.
There's fixed. It's gotta be Dr. Drew. He's got so much power that he's probably got somebody in the satellite up in the in the upper stratosphere of the world that's doing something to my broadcast, right?
I guess so.
So it's still not fixed. What's wrong
now? It's just really, really, Successful says it's distorted. It's It's.
Let's ask the people listening. I mean, go ahead and text me if those of you listening. Does it sound really bad? Again. Why don't you do this? Run yesterday's show because that's more of what I was going to talk about anyway. Can you do that at all?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, start it after the first break though, if you don't mind. Or can you? If you can't do that, just start it from the beginning. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
Sorry about that, folks. There's nothing we can do. It's nobody's fault. So here's yesterday's Poorman show, and we'll try to fix things.
Okay.
Leather doesn't have to be expensive. Not when it comes from Lucerne Lapidary and Leather in the Lucerne Valley. Who doesn't like leather? Get leather belts, wallets, gun belts, holsters, rifle scabbards, and original design handmade saddles. But that's not all. There's jewelry, custom design, custom cutting, shaping, engraving, polishing, repair, and more. Even classes in jewelry design. Come see it for yourself in the high desert. Lucerne Lapidary and Leather. 32776 Old Woman Spring Road in the Lucerne Valley. Call 760-885-7777. That's 760-885-7777.
Hi, you guys, and I say guys
music
specifically.
Service. Lululemon Athletica shares are up after the yoga
Linda
clothing
Gross.
maker raised its
It's a show where
full
men
forecast.
can
The
be
retailer
men.
also tops
She's going to be our
forecasters'
breakout
estimates.
radio star. I've said that many times on my
Shares of
show.
Sage
That is
Therapeutics
absolutely the
jumped
truth.
after its
And
experimental
her show is on
injectable drug-
exactly 1 hour after my show's on today. So tune in at 4 p.m. Pacific time right here to KCAA AM 1050 and listen to Linda Gross. Thank you.
This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesOrama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesOrama.com.
Music service. Lululemon Athletica shares are up after the yoga clothing maker raised its full-year forecast. The retailer also topped forecasters' estimates with a strong quarterly earnings report. Shares of Sage Therapeutics jumped after its experimental injectable drug was found to be effective in treating postpartum depression. McDonald's has hired former White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs as its chief communications officer. Campbell Soups is buying salsa maker Garden.
No beef with you. Doug Sluggo Roberts thinks this is great. Sluggo, you're in the same category as everybody else. Mike Evans, Hose. I can tell some stories about you. How about the fact you had the morning show at K-Rock and you're such a dumb idiot that you get on the air with you and Ramondo were doing the morning show and go, hey, I just want to tell Freddie Snakeskin to take this job and shove it, and I'll see you Monday morning at KLOS. So he leaves the morning show at K-Rock, goes to KLOS, and doesn't even last 6 months. You were stupid. You had a morning show that was really popular, and you walked out on K-Rock. And now you're criticizing me. You're nothing, dude. You're old and nothing. Larry Woodside, you were out of K-Rock in 1982. I don't know why you have a beef against me. And my good buddy Raymond Bannister, Ramondo. It's just all you guys just bagging on me. I don't care if the world bags on me. If you think I'm going to ever let go of a best friend screwing over his best friend, forget it. That's just, it ain't going to happen. I welcome calls, but we don't get calls here. This is 4 months into this show. Calls don't come in. I'll give the number, but it's not going to matter. 888-909-1050 is the number. That's why it's stupid to even talk about this, because nobody listens. 888-909-1050. Di, am I right or wrong? Are we getting any calls?
No, but you got 40 on Ustream today. So
well, but we're getting no calls in the Inland Empire.
Well, here comes something. Here comes something.
Okay. Well, I don't want just one. I want us to get all three of those lines blazing. Okay? That's what it's all about now. Screw the audience. Screw sitting here. I mean, I feel sorry for Fred Lundgren, the owner of this station. And by the way, that uncensored site about my show, you guys can all stick it up your butts too. Don't knock my sponsors. Quit spreading rumors about me that are untrue. And Todd, you're an idiot. You're an absolute a-hole. That's all I got to say. That uncensored site can go and just eat SH. That's all I got to say. All of those people on there. You knock my sponsors. It sounds like an infomercial on here. Do you know how hard it is to keep sponsors when you don't have? Do we have 3 lines ringing yet?
We have Video Dave on line 1.
Do we have 3 lines ringing?
We have 2 lines ringing.
Okay, well, we need to get 3. Let's see if we can actually get every line, 3 total lines. On a real radio show, we should be able to have lines anytime I open up the phone lines. It's not. Listen. My beef is not with being at this station. My beef is what was done to me, and I'll tell you what. This guy Drew Pinsky, he started it. He threw me under the.
Okay, we are talking about Poorman. We were just doing a little bit of replay yesterday, but we do have Poorman all situated here with us right now, and I think our audio problems are fixed. Poorman.
Yes, is that better?
Oh, thank God, yes.
Oh, good. Okay, well, this is definitely my screw up. Speak, Di.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so, because I had to plug in and unplug my my inputs.
Okay.
My mom is actually talking on the phone right next to me if you're watching the video screen. It's oh God, that's so weird.
Okay, well, we got, believe it or not, 3 phones lit.
All right, let's just go to the phone calls. And my mom is trying to take a note on the phone like 3 feet away from me.
Okay, do you want me to just go wild on the phones and just take them live? Or do you want me to screen them?
Yeah, just go. We'll go one at a time, or maybe we can put all. Well, let's do one at a time here. Okay, the phone number is 888-909-1050.
Kcaa.
You're on the Poorman Show. It was my fault. My plugins were wrong. I apologize to everybody, but we got 40 minutes left. Hi, who's this?
Poorman.
Yes.
Pasadena.
Okay, you are cutting out.
Yeah,
dramatically.
you are cutting out. Who is this?
Mateo, calling from Pasadena.
Okay, now that's better. Did you do something
better. Whatever
different?
you're doing now, stay that way, okay? Okay, what's up, man?
Hey, I love listening when I catch the show. Tune in, so you should plug your in listeners. It's kind of a happy. It's kind of nostalgia for you. It's awesome.
Your phone is just atrocious. Is there anything? Are you on a handset or what? What are you on?
Old 1920s. I will call back later today
Perfect.
from another spot.
Okay.
Yeah, please do, because I'd love to talk to you. It's just we can't understand a word you're saying, which is no different than me usually every day on this show.
All right.
All right, let's go to the. Okay, man, call back. Let's go to the next line.
All right, KCAA.
Yeah, is it live right now?
Yes, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, I'll hang up.
Okay, bye.
All right, who is that? Mushmouth Mike?
That was Mushmouth. Yes.
It was Mushmouth.
Yeah, okay, we've got someone else here, too.
Let's go to the next one.
KCAA.
Hi, it's Zombie Wolf. I keep calling in, but if you don't answer, it's looking on the time.
Zombie Wolf, my God, I haven't talked to you since I was on the air here in 2010.
Yep. I just tripped out because I haven't listened to the station in a while, and I happened to listen to the Night About Midnight and show, and they advertise your show.
Yeah, we've been back on for 4 months now, and we've got this big controversy going with, I'm getting all kinds of national attention with the whole thing with Dr. Drew. That, of course, I've talked your ear off about that for years. So what's going on? What's up with you, man? I'm so glad that you're back listening to the show again.
Nothing. I'm still gainfully unemployed, so sitting here listening to you and enjoying a little bit of medication.
A little medication never hurts. Just ask the good doctor.
Yeah.
Hey, are you still homeless? Weren't you homeless at one point?
No, I have a home. I just don't have a job at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well,
the house is paid for, so thank God.
Where do you live? What city?
Moreno Valley, near the air base, near the old air base.
Huh?
He's in Moreno
near the
Valley.
Old air base, near the old March base.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's good to have you back, and we're on Monday through Friday, 2 to 3, so tune in.
Okie dokie.
And by the way, let me plug real quickly. Tomorrow morning, Di and Zombie Wolf and everybody else, I'm going to be on a radio show in Phoenix, a morning show at WOW 99.1 at 8 a.m. So if you guys want to listen to that, they're going to have me on. And they obviously want to hear about the whole thing with Dr. Drew. So we'll be on there, and hopefully all of you people can tune in against WOW 99.1 in Phoenix.
Well, hopefully this controversy gets you back in everybody's ear.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been taking a lot of heat. In fact, that's maybe where we should go from here. Give you guys an update. This whole thing broke. Well, actually, it started about a month ago. I was doing my gig on Kcaa, and I was approached by an unnamed gentleman. He had gotten me an interview in 2010 in Life and Style magazine, which is one of these trashy tabloids, and they wanted to find out about Dr. Drew and his cocaine use from 30 years ago. So an article came out then. Dr. Drew subsequently went on the air with Kevin and Bean a day after the article, and he denied he had ever done coke, which, if you've followed my career, if you read the Daily Mail article that came out last Friday, he did enough blow to have a rose parade of fellow people he did it with, just cruising down Colorado Boulevard.
I have no someone that used to deal over at K-Rock, and there's just about everybody and their mother was on coke.
Exactly.
Back
So
in the days, they had the two radio stations, the AM and FM, going at the same time.
Yeah. So what's happened is this article came out Friday and it went viral. I mean, it's been shared 3,000 times nearly. It's been picked up by the New York Daily News. They did another article yesterday where Richard Blade, an ex-compatriot of mine, said he was up at K-Rock, and Dr. Drew never saw Dr. Drew do cocaine, and neither did a number of other jocks. And my answer to that is they weren't on Loveline. Those guys did different shifts. So Richard Blade, I guess, emailed the New York Daily News. They got a response from me. They now have an article there. I was interviewed by a unnamed television show that should be appearing maybe tomorrow. We don't know for sure. That's why I don't want to say what it is until it actually airs, and I'll let you guys know. Then I'm going to go on this Phoenix thing tomorrow. So a lot of people are interested. Now, as far as the actual feedback, my Facebook page is going ballistic. with people giving their opinions on pro and con, and a lot of really harsh con comments. People that surprised me they're even involved at all, which is one Richard Blade.
Richard Blade. I'm an English guy, and you know what I do with my career now? I play 80s songs all the time. I'm like old, and I play old music. And I do gigs all over the country playing 80s music. I'm Richard Blade.
So he decides to become the moral authority of everything that's going on here. And he says, why would you talk about Dr. Drew's cocaine use from 30 years ago? Which I guess is a legitimate story. And the point of the whole article in the first place, and before I decided to do the interview with the Daily Mail, which contacted me a month ago, I thought about, okay, so they want me to talk about that. They're going to see if they can find other people to talk about Dr. Drew's cocaine use. And I'm going, well, what's going to happen when this article comes out? And I figured, all right, I know I'm going to be dragged through the mud, and it's going to be tough. And the reason I did it is because this was not, the whole point is not that he did cocaine 30 years ago. The whole point is that the guy is a massive liar. He's lied since day one, just because he is such a media, excuse my language, whore. He is just fallen in love with being on the air, and he'll do anything and everything to stay on the air. It started with him when he was first on Loveline, which Loveline started a year before Dr. Drew was ever on the air. I discovered him, met him at my friend's party while taking a shower. My friend brings him in, and that's how we began our friendship, which became best friends. So he goes on the air on Loveline. We didn't even intend to have a doctor, but we had people saying, I have this weird ooze between my legs. And the next thing you know, Dr. Drew is being thrust into this show where people call with love problems. They get advice from the FM DJs, celebrities, and it's like calling your friends with your love problems. Sometimes it becomes technical. There's a weird ooze coming out, Dr. Drew, or whatever. So he ended up giving the medical opinion. He said he was a medical doctor when he was first on the show. He wasn't yet a medical doctor for a year. That was lie number one from the very first day he went on the air. Then it just went from there. It went from the last, up until 2009, he's an addiction specialist. Dr. Drew is an internist. He got his addiction credential in 2009. I don't know if Celebrity Rehab was on before 2009, but the guy was treating people for addiction by saying he was an addiction specialist, but he had not yet had the credential until 2009. That's another lie. Another lie that was going on was in 1993, this is 22 years ago, okay, folks? So I'm reliving this only because it tortures me every day, and I haven't had closure on this. Loveline by that point had gone to 5 days a week. We were number one in Los Angeles at night with so many listeners that we would have been the number 3 rated morning show in Los Angeles. And at night, there are maybe a third of as many radios that are even on as there are in Morning Drive. So it was a humongously successful show. The station decided they didn't want me on the air anymore. I was, this incorrigible guy. And so I got taken off Loveline with 16 months left on my contract. Dr. Drew and I were best friends by that point. He had married Susan, the former head K-Rock bikini girl, who I introduced to. I'm sorry, go ahead. Is that somebody on the phone that wanted to say anything?
No, but as long as you're stopping, Mateo is on the line, and also Dave Learman.
Okay, let's go to Mateo.
All right.
Hi, Phil.
Mateo, hi, welcome to the Poorman Show. And anybody else who wants to call, 888-909-1050. Go ahead.
Yeah, why won't you allow Trevor to have his show promoted on Friday at 4 p.m. unless you want $500?
Get out of here. You know what? Tell Trevor to go eat garbage. All right? That's ridiculous. Get off. Get him off the air. Get him off the air now.
So much for this.
How's that
Trevor,
for getting him off the air?
Don't do that. Don't do that crap to me, because if you do that to me, I swear to you, I will leave this station before I ever promote your show for one day. Okay? I'm going to make it very clear to you. You drink all day long. You drink all night long. I can't stand it. And I told you, and I guess I'll tell all the listeners, you're not going to get anything promoted by me unless you buy some ads on my show to promote it, like everybody else has to do. So you have people call in and try to do this to ruin my show. There is no way, as a cow jumping over the moon, that I will ever promote anything for you. So that's your one and only warning. And Dave, if you're going to start bringing up some garbage about my past, I will get rid of you immediately, because everything you said and heard is a complete lie. So if you even start with that, get that bomb ready, because you're not going to go on the air with this crap too. I want to make it really clear, or else I'll start talking about you. Hello?
Okay, Linda is on the line. Okay, I bombed whoever that was.
Yeah, you should have bombed that person. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Linda is on the line, and Dave Learman is also waiting.
Well, Dave Learman is going to try to trash me on the show, and I'm not going to take it, because I will trash him right back, and I'll bomb him off.
Okay.
So you talk to him during the break. If that's what it's going to be, he's not going to go on.
You know what? We're actually done with our breaks. We are actually done with our breaks.
We're done with all of them?
We are.
Oh, okay, great. Well, Linda Gross, which is good she's on here, she is going to be on from 4 to 5.
Right.
And that I will promote, because Linda Gross will be the first of all of us to have a nationally syndicated radio show. And probably I'll be hitting her up for a loan with the way my show goes. But she started her show last week. It was tremendous. Basically, Linda's whole thing is helping men deal with all of their issues. And I'm going to probably become her biggest paying client if I had enough money. And so what's the name of your new show, Linda?
The Men's Advocate Show with Linda Gross.
4 to 5, an hour after this show.
Yes.
And tell us some of the things you're going to be dealing with today, because what I like about it, it's an intimate look at what issues men are dealing with, and most people don't care about what men are dealing with.
They certainly don't. It's, all these men topics, you can't really talk to women about these topics because they'll just bite your head off. Very few women are open-minded enough to hear a man's point of view on some of these issues. So we're going to have a popping show today. We're talking about men's rights. My first guest is going to be talking about alimony reform, how he got jilted by his very high income earning wife, and she's getting alimony forever. Wow. To what end?
I've got another, it's funny. I've got a friend who's that way too. My friend Derek, he's remarried, and he's still paying his first wife $4,000 a month. And it's, and they've been divorced for like a dozen years.
Right.
Because they have a kid and they were married a certain number of years. So he's screwed. She hasn't gotten another job, and he has to just pay and pay and pay. And he thinks, and he won't even try not to pay. He's so sucked in.
It's horrible. I mean, the laws were written in the 50s and the 60s. They made sense back then. In today's economy and what's going on, with society today, so, some of these laws just absolutely don't make any sense. In his case, the wife is a high wage earner. It's not like she's trying to be a slacker and can't get a job or won't get a job. She's a high income earner. So whatever he gives her, the mandatory amount that he gives her every month, she's going on a cruise or buying designer handbags every month, or like I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Out of whack.
I don't get it either. Somebody should change those laws and get her wife's fat ass off the seat. Either get married again, spread your legs and get married to somebody else, or go get a job, lady. I mean, to still pay alimony. The son is already 22 years old, and he's got to pay $4,000 a month the rest of his life. I'd love that. I wish I was good looking enough to have somebody do that for me.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's okay. So you're going to talk about that. What else?
And then my second guest, along a similar vein, he got denied access to his kid because the scorned wife, that expression, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, the scorned wife decided to go to court, and she wanted to get even with husband for God knows whatever reason. I'm sure he'll be here to tell the story. Anyway, she lies to the court about what he did to the child. The judge signs an order dismissing custody 100%. He
To
has
the-
no
to the woman.
access to the child because she lied. So what reform he wants to do is he wants a checks and balances. That the wife
so
should not be able to go to court and just lie.
And
Like
is this the
someone
judge
needs to check out the
that Linda, is this a judge you're having on?
No, I'm having on the actual dad that this happened to.
So he got lucky and the judge sided with him, you're saying?
No, the judge sided with the lying wife.
Oh, and so he lost custody?
My guest wants court reform that the wife, the scorned wife, can't just sit up in court and lie. That someone's got to check out the story. If you're saying there's, abuse or neglect or this, like, where's the police report? Where's this? Where's it? There's got to be substantiation to the allegation.
This judge is a...
She just can't go up there and lie just because she wants some new Louboutin shoes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense.
This is the problem. This judge is an idiot, and whoever, I wish you'd know his name so I could tell him you're an idiot.
Exactly.
All right. What an idiot, though. Seriously. And how about, okay, even in the Ray Rice situation? Sorry, I'm not going to be politically correct, folks. But in my position, okay, you see Ray Rice, the guy in the Baltimore Ravens, slugging his wife in the elevator. He's, basically banned from football forever. How do you know she didn't slap him first? And here's my point of view. If a woman slaps me, they're going, you can't touch a woman. How many times has a guy gotten slapped in the face by a woman? Why can't you slug her back? I mean, I'm sorry, Linda. Why is it always the guy?
Yeah, I agree. And
well, now my mom's weighing in the other part. What'd you say, Mom? What do you mean he's doing it?
He's slugging.
But suppose the woman slaps him first. Then what does the guy do? Then you go to court. But suppose he's mad and slugs her back. What do you think? Should it be the guy's fault or the woman's fault for slapping him first?
I don't know. I'm not a judge.
I know you're not. My mom goes, I'm not a judge. How do you like having a son like me yelling at you? My mom is trying to write a book in the other side of the room while we're talking. She's trying to make corrections to a book.
Slapping the woman back. Sorry, you're not allowed to bash her head on the handrail in the elevator. No, you can't use her as a rag doll. I mean, I would just leave the situation or call the cops or do something else.
But they were drunk, though, Linda.
To retaliate. You don't have to resort to physical violence.
But they were drunk.
True.
Listen, I probably the Ray Rice situation is an extreme example, but I heard he spit in her face earlier too. Now look, I'm not saying you slug a woman and knock her out, but it just seems to me that a woman can slap a guy across the face, get away with it, and then if the guy even touches the woman, it's assault and battery now, and the woman doesn't get anything.
Correct.
And most men won't even admit to it because they don't like being looked at as victims.
Yes, that's correct too.
Yeah.
It's all a big mess. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Carry around a photographer with you 24/7 to record all this stuff? I mean, it's gotten to a crazy level. It really has. There's so many people that lie in court because they have an ulterior motive, whether it's father's rights or men's rights or whatever it is. There's a lot of people doing a lot of lying, and they're getting away scot-free, which brings us to your topic, actually. But there's a lot of that going on.
Okay, let's go to my topic. With my topic is as this Dr. Drew thing. I mean, look, it's not going to last the rest of my life. And what I wanted to say, I want to make this point today, is that now I am getting bashed like I am the villain with a guy who's been lying all throughout his entire career, including being an addiction specialist. Oh, that's great. I owe money for my phone bill. Right in the middle of the radio show.
Well, it's not going to cut off in the middle.
Yes.
They'll give you a little time.
I can't pay anyway. But just wanted to say what's happened on my Facebook page is people that I'm close to now, Linda, are starting to side with Dr. Drew, all because of this Richard Blade guy who as the moral authority, posting on my page saying I'm, just can't get over it, need to move on, and all this other stuff. So my ex-wife has said you're doing destructive things. My accountant Derek is siding with Richard Blade, a guy who works on our webpage, won't go on the air to talk about how we tried to talk to Dr. Drew. People that are really close to me are so intimidated by this guy that they won't stand by me. And the thing is, you got to remember, I didn't do anything. All I'm doing is pointing out that you got America's doctor who he lied the other day, even admitting when he did drugs. And so do you keep this man as America's doctor? That's my big point of view. He gets to keep.
That's exactly right. I listened to your show yesterday, and until then, I didn't quite get where you were coming from. I probably would have joined the masses saying, oh, come on, Poorman, this story is over 20, 30 years old. It's time for you to grow up and get over it and look past all of this. That's what my position was before yesterday. Before
you make your point, hey, Linda, before you make your point, I want to say something. This guy just texted me, the mad texter. My ex-wife said that you are disgracing the Trenton name. Well, I already did that long ago. But certainly in this case with Dr. Drew, but continue.
Right. So anyway, prior to yesterday, I probably was kind of going with the flow. Yesterday, I think I finally heard what your message is. And now I totally understand that this has nothing to do with a grudge. It has nothing to do with, your buddy at the radio station, had a few lines of cocaine. A lot of people in the 80s, had cocaine around them and were doing it regularly. That's not the issue. What the issue is this guy represents himself, Dr. Drew represents himself as an expert and authority on addiction. So therefore, you can't be going up against what you stand for. Because the oldest trick in the book is for an addict to, use an excuse. So his current excuse du jour is, I lied all this time, and the reason why I'm coming clean is because my kids are now past the age of 18 years old, and I lied at the time because I was protecting my kids. Really? Really? I mean, come on. That's what you are a psychologist to prescribe to your patients to not lie ever. It's not okay. Any kind of an excuse is a justification to bend the truth. Just like he bent the truth with his children, other addicts that he sees as patients, they bend the truth from here to Mars and back. So I see your point now. It's not a grudge thing. It's because he's representing himself out to be an expert, and not only an expert, but a drug addiction expert.
Well, Linda, Linda, here's the deal, too. When he came out and said he had done coke, pot, and alcohol last Thursday night because he had been asked for a quote because the Daily Mail said this story's coming out tomorrow about all these people that did coke with you when you've denied it for your entire career. And so he decided to do damage control. That's the reason he said it in the first place. So he used his kids as a shield to say that, which is, and then he said he did drugs when he was 22 and 23 years old. So, I mean, he just continued to lie, and that's not the reason at all. I mean, my son, I told him everything I did. He's a biomedical engineer. It doesn't mean squat to not tell your kids. No, the reason he didn't tell anybody is he wanted to, for whatever reason, in his insecure mind, he couldn't admit that he had done a lot of cocaine back in the day. It's not the fact, hey, you did coke and we caught you. It's the idea that he lied about it ever since. He couldn't even admit it. It wouldn't have been a story, right, Linda? It wouldn't have even been an issue.
It would not have been a story. It absolutely would not. And a parallel story to this is, I don't watch the show, but anyway, the premise of the show is that Duggar show. They have 19 kids and counting or whatever it's called. anyway, they're projecting family values and religious beliefs and how moral they are and what a good family they are and they're churchgoers and this and that and the other. And then on the other hand, one of the sons has diddled 4 or 5 of his sisters and has actually entered a couple of the sisters. Okay, so, in that case, it's a scandal because what you represent and what you stand for are divergent than what your real life is. So for that, they cancel the show. That's how it should be.
Right, and in my opinion, they should cancel
the show. Hello. So
right,
Dr.
and in my opinion,
Drew,
they should cancel all
he's
his shows
up
too.
there on some of the biggest profile cases, like the Michael Jackson case. He was all over HLN every minute of the day with that story. Drug addiction, this and that. So you cannot profess to be one way, and in your personal life, you're something else. They should cancel his show, Dr. Drew.
Right, exactly. They should cancel all of them. And not only for that, but the ratings came out on both his radio shows. K-Rock is way down in the ratings, and KBC is a disaster. So he's not even getting good ratings, and HLN, I'm sure, is similar. They should take him off the air. Yes, from a personal point of view, I'd love to see him fired from all 3 shows so he can see how I've felt for 22 years. But on the other thing, you're like you said, with the Duggars, they take their show up because their family values, and one of the guys is going after the other brothers and sisters. Now, this is something that a guy last night, I wanted him to come on the show today, but he sent me on Facebook. You got to hear this. Linda Gross is with us, by the way. She'll be doing a lot more an hour after my show right here on the same station, 4 to 5. She's going to be on with the Men's Advocate, right?
The Men's Advocate show with Linda Gross.
Right. Okay, so listen to this. It's so funny. My mom's making a phone call. She's going, I don't care if you're doing a radio show. This is my house. I like it. Okay, so Jason came on last night and Facebook friends me. He said, the so-called Dr. Drew is a quack. He should not be playing with people's lives that have serious drug addictions. Listen to this, Linda. My friend Mike Starr, Alice in Chains, was on Drew's Lame Celebrity Rehab show. Mike told me that Drew on camera told Mike, this is on camera, quote, if you ever need my help, call me. Mike Starr called him when he needed help after he was off the show. And you ready for this, Linda? Drew told this guy to F off.
Whoa.
Yes. My guess is I tried to figure out why would he do that. My guess is maybe Mike was really high and maybe had called Drew in the middle of the night. And here's a sad part of the whole story is Mike Starr ended up later overdosing and he died. And so my friend says maybe if he had gone to a real rehab, he may still be rocking with us today. And he said that Mike had told that story about Drew saying, F you off many times.
Wow, what a sad story.
Sad, terrible.
It's horrible.
And the other thing too, I don't know if the other thing, Linda, have you noticed how people are just bagging on Farley Malaris, the other guy in the Daily Mail story who said he saw Drew on more than 20 occasions doing coke in the control room, like 6 or 7 lines. I don't know if you read that or not, but people are bagging on this guy. He has no ulterior motive. He just said he'd come forward and do it because he liked me and he thought Drew was a liar. People are bagging on him, calling him crazy. I'm being called mentally ill. Just every name in the book, like I said, family members turning against me. And I think it's incredibly unfair to knock Farley. One person, Richard Blade, called the New York Daily News and said Farley was never an actual, he was never an employee of KROQ. That is true, he wasn't, but he was in the studio on Loveline numerous occasions, as an astrological forecaster. And in addition to that, Dr. Drew wasn't even an employee of the station at that time. He came in and did the show for free. Neither one of them were employees. People would always come into K-Rock back in the day and do shows. Very few of them were paid. The first 2 years I was on K-Rock, I didn't get a paycheck. I had to sell ads, same as Kcaa. Nothing's changed in order to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
So, and then in addition to that, Richard Blade is saying, none of the other jocks saw Dr. Drew ever do cocaine. Well, that's because you weren't up there at midnight. Dr. Drew did cocaine with a lot of people.
And again, it's not the point that he did cocaine; it's the point that he lied, and he continues to lie. Even when he was caught with this admission on his own show last week, he couldn't even tell the truth then. He had to lie about his age. He had to lie about, he said he did it when he's 22 and 23, Linda. He didn't start at K-Rock till he was 25. And I saw him for 5 years, so he was doing coke till he was 30. He said he was a med student only when he did it. He was a doctor for 4 years while he was doing it too. Anyway, I don't mean to go off on that, but I just feel to somebody somewhere is doing an organized assault to discredit me. And let me put it to you this way, folks. I've already been discredited so much. I really don't have anything to lose, to be honest with you. I'm not sitting there with a pile of money. I don't have 12 shows. The guy who's the issue here, and people need to face the real issue, and that's the lying doctor of America. And he needs to be sat down. Look, a lot of people are saying you don't want to see somebody lose their career forever. Well, I've lost my career basically for 22 years. Yes, I want retribution. No, you're right. He shouldn't lose his career forever. But maybe for a while, he needs to sit back and not have any job and learn how to tell the truth.
Exactly. And I think you will be more successful if you come from that place. Because really the issue here that I see is about integrity. Yes, there's a vendetta. Yes, you're upset that he stole your show. That's a whole nother issue.
Yep.
But I think the main issue that needs to be dealt with is the integrity thing. Like, how dare you go up and profess to be an addiction specialist when your own personal life is doing the exact opposite?
And we don't know if he still does coke. He probably doesn't. But how do we know? How do we know he's not on prescription drugs? I'm sure people wonder.
Yes. Yes, it's almost like, he's got spin doctors, haha, pun intended, almost like making you be the bad guy, you be the fall guy. Again, that's classic psychology 101. It's
Hey,
like when
Linda,
the guilty
listen,
person
we've
is
got...
wrong, you always point the finger at the other person. It's
Right.
a deflection mechanism.
Right, he's a victim. Okay, we got John from Pomona on the line here. John, welcome to the Poorman Show.
I want to speak to Dr. Drew's hypocrisy. But
Yeah,
I want to ask you.
Go ahead, John.
Do you owe Trevor $5,000?
Oh, I owe him $1 million. Hey, listen, I can hear the planes going overhead. Can you hear them, Linda?
Yes.
John, can you hear it? John.
John is gone.
What happened to our bomb?
I'm sorry.
Come on.
No, he hung up.
Our bomb. You might want to use it on your show, Linda. Listen to this. I love this. Just play. Where is Learman still on there?
He might be.
Okay. Is it re-queued?
Oh yeah.
Okay, put Dave on because the planes are already humming. Dave?
Poorman.
Dave.
Poorman.
Yes.
Poorman, I'm not going to bash you. I applaud you. I hate Dr. Drew. I think it's great what you did. You know that? I champion you. I think it's a long time coming. I just have one question for you.
Okay, hey, well, hold on just a sec. I hear the bomb. I hear the bomb. The bomb.
How come you didn't mention KCAA?
I hear the bomb. Come on,
How
die.
come you didn't mention KCAA?
Die. Oh, yeah.
How come you didn't mention KCAA?
Darn.
Did he die?
I guess he must have. I was hoping he'd survive. I really wanted to hear what he was going to say.
That was so funny.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Poorman, you're a crack up. I love that.
Oh, man. Listen, I'm getting a brief taste of being in the public spectacle again, and you just have to deal with it. That's what you got to do.
Here's my advice. Lay off the vendetta thing for a minute and just focus on the integrity issue, and you'll do okay. You'll get your point across, because that's how to overcome this thing with Dr. Drew.
It's exactly. I mean, I think that's what it is. But lay off Farley, everybody. Lay off Farley. He's not the villain here. I'm not the villain. Focus on the lying doctor, America's lying doctor. And hopefully he'll start telling the truth. He might be a better doctor then, too. That's the other thing.
Exactly.
And cut me in for a few mil that you've made off my show, Loveline. At least cut me a check for a couple mil. All right. Well, I guess we're getting close to the end. Linda, you probably have to get ready for your show. You're on in an hour.
Yep, I am. And thank you for opening the door for me. Thank you for giving my start in radio. And I really, really appreciate everything that you've done behind the scenes.
You're going big time, Linda. That's all I got to say. Linda Gross, she will be on with the Men's Advocate. And guys, it's all about guys' issues. So join her at 4 o'clock right here on KCAA. Oh,
thanks, Poorman.
You bet. Di, where are we today? What did we learn today? That I don't know how to turn on my mic?
That we're going to have a better show tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like the song I chose?
Oh, yeah, you played some good 80s music I'm sick of. Thank you so much.
It's called Lies, Lies, Lies. I thought it was rather thematic.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's good. Thompson Twins, too.
Yeah.
I introduced these guys once in concert. Let's not even get into that.
Yeah.
All right, so Linda's on in an hour. Who's next?
Who's next? Dr. Jolly is next.
Dr. Jolly, he'll be jolly.
Yes, he's always jolly. He may be a little late, but he'll be calling in. So,
really?
All right, until tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you.
I'm Judd Lesher, CNBC Radio. The Dow is up 245 points. The Nasdaq higher by 69. Both the Dow and the Nasdaq are up more than 1%. The market is being led by techs, financials, and energy. Crude oil stockpiles fell by 7 million barrels last week, the biggest drop in a year. Shares of Chevron, Conoco, and ExxonMobil are all up 1% or more. Oil rose 2% to $61.43 a barrel. Netflix is also a big winner, up 26% on word Marriott has agreed to put Netflix on TVs in all 300 of its hotels by the end of next year. Marriott is a fraction higher. The Commerce Department says the economy was probably not as weak as had been reported in the first quarter, with data out today showing slightly stronger consumer spending than previously estimated. And Buffalo Pet Products, which has seen its sales skyrocket thanks to health-conscious consumers, is filing an IPO worth up to $500 million. John Lesher, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get